Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allie, and just to let you guys know, I am going to be doing lots of videos around spirituality and many other things. I'm really intrigued on what other people would like me to discuss around spirituality, around certain topics. Obviously, I'll pick the ones that I feel like I can really relate to and tell a story to and all that kind of stuff. Um, but today's video, I am going to talk about spirituality and um, like just simple basics about spirituality and how you can become spiritual if you're interested, or what that even just looks like, because a lot of people don't really understand what spirituality is. Some people may even think that it's a religion. So, in this video, I'm basically going to talk about like the actual definition of religion, spirituality, what's the difference. I'm going to talk about different ways that you can be spiritual and that you can practice being spiritual. I'm also going to um, discuss things that I'm doing currently to be spiritual, and things that I'm wanting to learn more about, because like I said in my other um, video, I'm here to learn as much as I am to teach. So if any of you guys just want to share any information, like down in the comments or just with me personally, that's totally fine. I'm totally up for it. So just let me know. But let's get into today's video. So it's all about spirituality. So, what is the definition of spirituality? It's basically the quality of being concerned with yourself and the spirit and soul, and just opposed to anything that's material or like physical things. Um, so that's what the definition is. I looked it up. Also, I'm going to apologize. You hear my cat meowing. She's being crazy right now, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not, but I'm just going to apologize for it, just in case. So, um, the definition of religion is basically a specific set of organized believers um, and like practices, usually that are like in groups or in communities. So that's one of the big differences of spirituality and religion, is that spirituality is actually more to do with yourself and you as an individual, opposed to a community or a group. Um, Also, the overall goal of being spiritual is basically just finding who you are. What's your soul's purpose? What is your purpose on this earth? That is what you're finding out whenever you're in tune with being spiritual. Um, there's different ways that you can practice this. Some of the ways that I'm going to name, I do as well, but I'll go more in depth and stuff like that too. So, one of the ways that you can be spiritual is literally just meditating. Meditating is super important because you really just want to take time out for yourself and really be one with yourself, and just kind of whatever you want to do, honestly, as well. Like, you don't have to just sit there and be quiet. You can do guided meditation, which I really like. That's something that I started with. I would say that if you were starting with anything, guided meditation is really awesome. I just look up guided meditations off of YouTube. So ones that I may look up are like positive affirmations, that you can say to yourself. I would also look up full moon meditations whenever it's the night of the full moon. New moon meditations whenever it's that night of the new moon. I would look up morning meditations to start my day. Like, as you can see, like, there's just so many, whatever, like, fits you best, honestly. But another big part would also be to just pray. Just pray to whatever you believe in, and, you know, just connecting with the universe or God or whatever. You really do want to also take care of your body. It's very important to not only take care of what you're eating, and, you know, what you're putting, like, on your body as far as, like, products and stuff like that, but also, it's really important to take care of your mindset and making sure that it's a positive one and not a negative one. That's going to be something that's going to be hard for certain people, and, like, I understand. I've definitely, you know, been there, and, you know, like, I'll be honest with you, like, I have anxiety and depression, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really into spirituality, because it helps me. Like, I'm not one to want to take medicine. I never wanted to go through that process. I understand that some people do, and I respect that 100%. It's just all depending on who you are and what works best for you. But doing these practices actually does help with my mental health a lot, I will say. Another way you could practice spirituality is just by surrendering yourself to God, to the universe. Just surrender and let go. Whatever you're holding on to, whatever pain that you have from the past, whatever it is, just let it go. And just let them take care of it. And, you know, that kind of sounds like easy, but it also kind of sounds hard at the same time. But it's one of the biggest ways that you can really be connected with God and the universe, I will say. Also, you can surrender yourself to spirit guides that are around you. Like, if you just don't think you could handle a situation that you're in and you're just not sure how to handle it, ask them to handle it for you. They will take care of it for you. You just have to ask. That's, like, one of, like, the biggest pieces of advice that I got from a psychic is to really try to connect with my spirit guides more. And I'm not gonna lie, like, at first, like, I was kind of, like, scared about it, and that's okay. Most people are, because it's something totally different, and it's a change. Like, to be honest with you, it's change. It opens up, like, a whole entire new world, but it's such relief, like, when you get there, pretty much. So going back to meditation, I just feel like there's so many different ways that you can meditate. You don't have to just sit with yourself and be silent. You don't have to do guided meditations. You could literally draw. You could journal, just write poetry. I write poetry. I get my feelings out. Like, that's something that I do. You could do yoga. Like, honestly, whatever your preference are, whatever makes you feel whole with yourself, whatever makes you feel relaxed is what I would say is, like, the best thing. Kind of going back to, like, surrendering, you do really want to let go and just kind of, like, let go of your ego as well. So an ego is basically something inside yourself that is all based around anxiety and fear and pride and things that we just need to let go of, because being fearful of something is only holding you back for opportunities. It really is. So if you can let go of that ego and just really do everything out of love and honesty, it's a really big part of just connecting with others. So that is also something. Like I said, just being really connected with the universe, not being afraid to surrender, not being afraid to just talk to your spirit guides. That could be, it's different from everybody. Like, it doesn't, you're not actually physically seeing like a spirit guide. So it's just different for many, many people, because everybody has different gifts, pretty much. So one of the books that I read actually is Discover Your Psychic Type. So this book is really interesting. Why I wanted to pick it up is because I'm learning that a lot of people actually really do have certain psychic gifts that they're just not aware of. They don't think it's a psychic gift. They're not really sure what it is. And a lot of people out there actually do have good intuition. They just don't listen to it as well. So this book is really interesting, and it actually has like a quiz in here. Not even a quiz. It just kind of like a questionnaire. That's what I wanted to say. And it will ask you different things and how you feel. So, for instance, it says the feelings and emotions of others affects me. So then you would rate yourself often, sometimes, and rarely. So it's gonna ask you like certain questions like that. Like another one, I experience anxiety or panic in crowded places. Like, it's just gonna ask you so many different questions, and at the end, you kind of tally everything up and add things together, and you will be able to find out like if you're physically intuitive, if you're emotionally intuitive, mentally intuitive, and spiritually intuitive. So there's a bunch of different psychic gifts that you can have, and that book really kind of discovers which ones you have. So I think that's really interesting as well, to just kind of figure out, you know, what your talents are. But let's see. So yeah, that's one way that you can really connect with yourself and everything as well. I kind of have a list, so that's kind of what I'm like referring to, because there's like so many things that I want to talk about, but I don't want to like have it be super long. So that's why I kind of need a list, because I don't want to like rant like on and on and on. But another thing, like for me, that I'm really into is also numerology and astrology. Like, it all kind of like ties together. But I have certain books that I use for that. I'm also really into Moonology. I'm gonna have to do like a whole like other like separate like video for that, because there's just a lot in itself. But this is my Moonology book. It helps me understand different lunar cycles, and different zodiac signs are in those lunar cycles, and it tells me how that affects me, especially on full moons and new moons. But another thing that's been really helpful to help me keep up with that, because people are like, how do you figure out when's the full moon and new moon? You can Google it, honestly. I have this book, or like a Moonology diary of this entire year, and it basically tells me all the things that I need to know about which sign is going to be in which moon cycle and all that good stuff. So this is also something I'm really interested in. The author of both of these are actually Yasmin Boland. I picked this up at my local like spiritual store. So those are really interesting. Another thing that I really use with my spiritual practice is tarot cards. So this is one of my favorite tarot card decks right now. This is called Mystic Mondays Tarot, and this just really helps and guides me along the way of my spiritual journey. You can just ask like certain advice with these cards, or you can out your future in a way. I feel like the choices that you make definitely are going to make your future change. So things can change all the time, but it's like in that current moment, you're asking what you need to know. That's what a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know what to ask. Like when it's their first time, like, reading tarot cards, I always ask just, what do I need to know right now? That's it. And usually I get a pretty clear answer on what I needed to know. I also have oracle cards. These are also Moonology by the same person, Yasmin Boland. But these are really helpful. I really like to use these on full moon, new moons, or if I really want to get more information out of a situation that I'm asking about, I will definitely use these as well. These are very helpful. So another thing that's really important to while you're doing all these spiritual practices and is really to relax in the moment. So certain like smells are just like certain relaxing. So for me, I always sage my room just to cleanse out any negativity, just make it a really positive place for me to meditate in and be in. My room, I spend most of my time in my room, so I really want it to be a place of relaxation and just somewhere where I can just kind of like escape and meditate. So definitely want to sage everything that you're using with your spiritual practices. You can sage yourself. You could sage your crystals. I also really love crystals. I have tons of bracelets and tons of crystals around my room and all that kind of stuff. So you could have those around you as well. It's really helpful. I'll probably make a whole nother video based on crystals because there's just like so much to talk about with that. You can say certain affirmations to yourself like every day, like just like really positive ones. You can do it while you're meditating too. You can do it while you're looking in the mirror. So many different ways you can practice like the law of affirmation. It's just really thinking positively and saying positive things to yourself and to others. You also want to do mantras, which is like a whole thing in itself, but basically you can look up certain ones on YouTube and kind of like follow like a guide with that, or if you do have like a singing bowl of your own, you can do mantras with your singing bowl. And I will show you what it is. I didn't bring it over here, but I'm gonna get it. This is a singing bowl. So one way that you can use it is you can literally meditate with it and tap it and kind of firmly go around. Of course, my dog's barking at this time too. But so that's another way you can practice it. Any spiritual shop is going to have all of these things, by the way. You just kind of have to like Google it and find whatever local one is near you. Like I said, I'm getting really into candle magic, and that is really kind of sending energy off into the universe and really just talking about, what do you really want? What do you really want to change in your life for the better? Do you want more self-love? Do you want positivity? Are you trying to get that career that you always wanted? Are you like, it's just like, what do you want? Like really set your intentions in that candle, which I'm gonna have to do a whole video on that as well because it's just a lot to explain. Really balancing out your chakras, another video I'm gonna have to do in its own. But basically, you can go get this done by a Reiki master, or there are different ways you can practice it yourself too. And another way to really practice being spiritual is really listening to your intuition. Your higher self It's just your intuition, knows you more than anybody. So really listening to that, and intuition can pop up like at any moment. It's just different for each people. I am somebody that has a lot of dreams, and I feel like I get a lot of messages through my dreams as well, because I've had a lot of certain things happen in my life that I've dreamt about before, which is it's crazy. But yeah, so that's another way. Personally, me, I really like baths. So you can do like spiritual baths, if you want to really cleanse like your entire body and just kind of get rid of like any like toxins, and just really, doing self-care, really taking care of yourself and loving yourself is just like a huge part of spirituality, like in general. So, and then this last thing that I'm going to talk about is journaling. I think that journaling is super helpful to really get out all your feelings, especially if you don't have somebody that you can talk to. You can always journal. And another like big message that I kind of want to spread is that you're never really alone anyways. Um, your spirit guides are always with you. God is always with you. So that's just a message that I just wanted to send out, just in case people like really do feel like they're alone. Um, but yeah, this is my journal. I really like it. It's cute. You can also write affirmations in your journal, because um, everything is energy. Words are energy and vibrations. Once you're writing down word, like that's like a vibration. So this really helps a lot. And like I said, like I really like poetry too. It really kind of gets me in my feels, but I definitely can express a lot more whenever like I'm doing that too. So that is all that I want to talk about in this video. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and please like this video. Please share with anyone you know that would think that this video would be helpful for them. I really appreciate you all really listening to me and hearing what I have to say, if you spent 22 minutes listening to me. But thank you again, and my next video, I'm probably going to actually do a pick card video, so for those of you who are like super excited about that, I'm going to do that for you guys. Alright, so thank you again and again and again. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.